Numaya wishes she could take a break, but stalls need raking, troughs need filling. Ah, our rancher's work is never finished.
Hope we find something interesting today. What would you like to talk about? I'm an archer by training, so I try to stay at range. Up close, I'm pretty handy with a dagger, but I prefer my bow.
I still can't believe poor Milksop's hide almost wound up on some poacher's wall. We owe you, friend. You'll always have friends here on the ranch.
way. Off we go! Let's ride!
Watch your step in the stitches. You'll want to find another place to rest your feet, stranger. These stitches are about to burst. It won't be much longer before the whole place unravels, as it were. There's a new Khajiit in charge, Kazda, and he enjoys throwing his weight around. Between this one and you, most in the stitches find Kazda's leadership lacking, but none will stand up to him. Though this one heard rumors Tasnasi is back. No friend of Kazda's, this one can tell you. She's recruiting for a job, or so the rumors say. This one doubts she'll have much luck convincing someone local to make an enemy of Kazda. But someone passing through... Last I heard, Tasnasi was camped on the north rim of the Scar, but this one doubts she'll stick around for long. The moment Kazda catches wind of her, he'll have her throat slit. It's the closest thing to a settlement out here. Imagine a river hold on the edge of a cliff, painted with rum and horse dung. Then invite every outlaw, bandit, and exile to live there. That's the stitches. You didn't hear this from me, but he's a thug who thinks he's a king. Sits in Merville Keep, counting coin and letting his thugs run the stitches into the ground. Well, deeper into the ground. A thief who got run out of town not long after Kazda took over. He's the only one worth robbing in the stitches, so my gold's on her job involving his ill-gotten gains. Gutsy to cross car.
Taznazi does not know you. That's good. She knows everyone in the Stitches. Those who aren't in Kazda's pocket, she can count on one paw. This one has a job for someone who'd rather pick it. An unknown face like yours is just what she needs. Kazda, the dung-eater that runs the Stitches, has a hoard of gold beneath Merville Keep. Taznazi plans to make it hers. Ours. If you're interested, we need to move soon. The Stitches gets worse by the day. Kazda may leave, and his coin with him. To take from Kazda is no crime. His predecessor, Dashing the Salzo, amassed the coin. Kazda only wallows in it, like a pig in its filth. A cruel, stupid pig. Now he lets the Stitches shuffle to ruin. This is his just punishment. We also need Taznazi's old crew, Vol, Sarin, and Nazdar. Vol just did a job for Jubani. He'll be at her junk shop. Sarin's likely at the Goiter's Gulp, and Nazdar caterwauling somewhere. We'll meet in the bowl at the bottom of the scar. Who do you want to know about? Maybe not the most distinguished mage in elsewhere, but the best Taznazi is likely to get in the Stitches. She spends more time with her head in a bottle than a book, but once she's dried out, she'll be invaluable for reaching the vaults unnoticed.
What is it?
Quick! Drink a magica potion!
Get these ropes off of me.
What?
Bonnie and I had a deal. I delivered.
True. But why keep paying when we can just make you do it for free? Now get inside.
Do you find me attractive?
Careful where you flaunt your wealth, Walker. You are a tempting prize indeed. I try not to be superstitious. That brings bad luck.
What in the moons? My fur! What was in this bucket? Whatever your death wish is, it's granted! Oh, my head. Just tell me what you're doing here before I turn your heart into a tomato. Oh, really? Taznas is still kicking around? A little good news to go around with all this bad. Like a fly in wine. Be careful of the wine, by the way. There's flies in it. I didn't say that. Well, what I mean is that I'd like to, but if Taznasi wants me for my magical skill, I have some bad news. My focus is gone. I mean my other focus. My arcane focus. A bauble to focus magica. I'm useless without it. I may have planned it. To Lulius and Skippy and Averno. I'd give the gold back, but Kazda's really gouging the price of a bottle these days. Even the swill in this flop house. The Avernos are inside. Get my focus back, and I'll owe you.
I am positively fuming. Julius has our entire wardrobe shipped here from Kvatch, and he still manages to pick out the exact same outfit I'm wearing. As if it weren't clear enough we're twins. But you're not here to listen to a sibling's prattle. That rancid-smelling thing? I can't believe my brother paid mostly honest gold for it. Probably cursed. He should just be rid of it and be done with the whole torrid affair. Speaking of torrid affairs, well, perhaps later.
No face in the stitches, then? I love new faces. I can front you a little money in exchange for... well, we can talk terms over wine. To what do my brother and I owe the pleasure? Focus. Looked like a collar to me. Pity it doesn't fit any of our pets. Don't call it such around Serene. Nearly clawed poor Skipion's nose off over it. It's such a good nose, too. Reminds me of Mother. Anyway, price is set. Will you pay it? Well, Skipion called me a fool for taking the cat's little trinket, but here I am turning a tidy profit. I'll make sure he never hears the end of it. The bauble's in a jewelry box on the other side of the bar. Help yourself.
Blah, can't get the taste out of my mouth. It's awful. Good, Kazda's made the stitches unpalatable, like that swill he's got the tavern pouring. I'm ready to get out, but I wouldn't mind batting Kazda's tail along the way. I'm sure Taznasi feels the same. I need a moment or two. Look, I'll meet you at the bowl once the world stops spinning. Just a mage looking for something at the bottom of a bottle. I don't really know, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if I ever knew. Look, you seem halfway decent, so don't stick your muzzle too far in, alright? Taznazi's got her own business, and I know too much about it already. I don't drink just because I like the flavor of the tavern's bilge. I'm hazy on the details. To be honest, I'm hazy on a lot of things these days. But I know Taznazi can't show her face in the stitches, and it's not just Kazda that'd like to see her dead. You've seen the type of people who call the stitches home. Thieves, smugglers, deserters. Nobody keen on laws. Of the few rules we have, she broke the one you don't break. Murder. I've said more than I should have already. It's in the past. Taznazi had her reasons. She always has her reasons. Not that I ever got to hear them. She's not going to stab you in the back if that's what's worrying you. Keep your mind on the job.
Said Nalitha the avuncular, even in somber times must the wayfarer be offered greetings. Nazdar greets you, wayfarer, though his times are somber indeed. What brings you to this one? Hotaza the corpulent often said, the forgetting of friends is a grievous wrong. Wise words. Tasnasi has not visited him in some time, but this one has not forgotten her, so believe Nazdar when he regretfully declines her invitation. This one has lost a prized possession, a lute gifted by a dear, departed friend. It has buoyed Nazdar's soul for so long, he sinks without it. Weighed down as such, he cannot be the fleet walker Tasnasi needs him to be. Truly? This one was practicing his lute in the canyon below, but his playing attracted irascible beasts. He was forced to leave it behind as he scrambled up the cliffs. A saint. He once led the stitches, not to glory perhaps, but away from shame. Even saints do not live forever, nor did he. But as Balant the Canonical said, the dead recalled in good memories are the true saints of our lives.
Okay, this is the fight now. Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting. The last of them? Oh, thank feck.
As Zubacha the Hermit said to Intasi after returning from his grand pilgrimage, "Hello. This one is cheered to see you without the blemishes of harm." As often said by Polu the Overstating, this is worthy of celebration. You have done this one a great turn. In the dark days the Stitches find themselves in, it is good to hold a memory of brighter times. Your kindness reminds Nazdar of the love dashing Dasalzo had for the Stitches in life. This one recalls many joys in the company of Tasnazi and the others. He would like to feel them again. Nazdar will go where Tasnazi bids. Nazdar knows you see more ribs than muscles on him. This is true, but he once was a brother of the Whispering Claw, so dedicated to that life he was, that he took a vow of silence. You have read the works of Vekla the Ephemeral. Nazdar is glad to know a fellow student. Yes, Nazdar was silent for 19 years, but one night in moonlight he heard through his cell a song. A simple tune, but captivating. Some peasant tune hummed by a swineherd going home, but a Jarasti moon singer said, "Beauty is not in the art, but in what it instills." In that moment, Nazdar knew he must sing, so he broke his vow and left the adeptorium to make music. "You can make art for others," said Urka of the Bard College, "or for yourself. Nazdar knows he is not good enough to make art for others, but dashing Dasalzo always encouraged Nazdar to make art for himself. Nazdar will never forget that. A life of decades cannot be reckoned in minutes, so the blind poet has taught us. But Nazdar will do his best. The Stitches was once like it is today, a refuse pit of the spirit, home of vice, self-interest, and the vain depravities of life. Dasalzo came to the gangs of the Stitches and showed them a common foe, Euraxia's armies. We harried them, stole from them, bled them dry, and we formed bonds. To quote Aidino the Aphoric, the greatest gift the indolent can receive is purpose. His death did not rip those bonds apart, but without Dasalzo's care in keeping them tight-knit, they are unraveling nonetheless, and Kazda is pulling at the threads. But some, like Nazdar, keep Dasalzo's memory and his hope.
This is Giovanni's turn. All trespassers lose an ear.
Hey, you're not one of Giovanni's thugs. Can you get me out of here? I'm getting out of here. Catch up to me so I can thank you properly.
Guard, but you forced my hand.
Thanks for your help back there. Giovanni and her thugs are a bunch of hammers that think everything is a nail. Geniuses included. Altruism isn't a thing in the Stitches. So what do you want? Need a lock picked? Something repaired? Tarsney, huh? That's funny. Was just thinking about her recently, seeing what's gone on around this dump. How it's gotten, dumpier than usual. But she's pulling together a job. I swore that Kazda ran her out of town when he took over. Last time I ran my mouth, Giovanni sent her unexpectedly handsome thugs after me. I'm not spilling any more secrets. But it's nice to know Tosnacy's still around. She really loves this place after all. Even after everything that's happened to her. Well, Giovanni's sure to notice I'm missing. Joining up with a crew seems like a good way to keep my fingers unbroken. So sure, whatever Tosnacy's playing at, I'm in. The bowel. Well, that's ironic. I'll head there after I get my tools and find another pair of small clothes.
Problem, Sarah? That was a bit of a warm-up.
That's everyone. Taznazi must speak with you. Taznazi has not seen her old crew in some time. Not since... Never mind. You were not followed, yes? Taznazi is not welcome in the Stitches. Associates of Taznazi, also not welcome. Kazda was lieutenant to Dashing de Salzo. Taznazi as well. Kazda was... No. It's just a heist, that's all. Taznazi knows how it looks. Get revenge, clear her name. But she hates the sight of this place and will leave it for good just as soon as her pockets are a little heavier. Now, let's go over the plan. Today, we hit Kazda right under his nose. We'll break into the basement of the Mirville Keep through this sewer, so long as Vol can pick the locks.
Locks. Cute. Might as well be fancifully knotted ribbons to me.
Good. At the courtyard, we'll have sentries, but Serene's teleportation spell should let us pass unnoticed.
Were you talking to me?
We'll enter the palace through a second-floor storage room. Nasdar will scale the wall and drop a rope for us.
As spake Urwa the Observant. I see.
Taznazi and the newcomer will handle any trouble that comes our way. Let's get started.
Teleporting. I should have eaten breakfast today, instead of drinking it. Taznazi's route involves us crossing the courtyard. The safest way to cross it without being seen? Don't cross it. So I'm going to teleport us, which is something I can absolutely do. It's hard to do even when you're not hungover, even if you've had a complete education from the Mages Guild. I mean, I've done it before, couple of times, and it largely worked out fine. So let's give me the benefit of the doubt. Oh, why didn't I think of that? I'll just wave my tail and have us there in time for tea. I have to see where I'm going. If I was just guessing, we'd... Well, I don't guess anymore, so there. Ugh, teleporting. I should have eaten breakfast today, instead of drinking it. Taznazi's route involves us crossing the courtyard. The safest way to cross it without being seen? Don't cross it. So I'm going to teleport us, which is something I can absolutely do. It's hard to do even when you're not hungover, even if you've had a complete education from the Mages Guild. I mean, I've done it before, couple of times, and it largely worked out fine. So let's give me the benefit of the doubt. Oh, why didn't I think of that? I'll just wave my tail and have us there in time for tea. I have to see where I'm going. If I was just guessing, we'd... Well, I don't guess anymore, so there.
As dumb as Kazda is, he never did skimp on security. Those locks he has in his dungeons are dwarven make. No one gets through those. Unless you're me, of course. The Bowel is part of the keep's old cistern. You can get up to its dungeons from here. The Salzo never used them, and neither does Kazda. Place is a dump. But Kazda's paranoid about his treasure, and the door's fitted with dwarven locks. Yep, some scavenged dwarven artifacts cobbled together to make a lock that most saps couldn't crack. Kazda probably bought them off Jew Bonnie, and Jew Bonnie probably had them built by a particularly handsome and talented bossmer. That's me, by the way. Right. We don't know what may have moved into the dungeons after Kazda stopped paying attention, so I'll be counting on you to watch my back.
To know the road you walk is a joy was recorded as the last words of Ofin Dentro. Our road is now known to us. It will be a joy to walk it. We need a way into the tower once we've crossed the courtyard. Nazdar will scale it and gain access. Years may befall the river, yet it still flows. The red cone is clear. You see a frail old cat, but Nazdar is a proud practitioner of the Whispering Claw. You will see.
You have any questions for Taznazi? Otherwise, we go. Yes. Taznazi knows Mervale Keep, where Kazda rules. It has 3 main sections: the dungeon, the courtyard, and the palace. The vaults are inside the palace, but the main entrance is too well guarded. We must take a more circuitous route. Through a small storage room in the south tower. Its window is broken, and it's rarely guarded. We reach the south tower by crossing the courtyard, and we reached the courtyard by coming up through the dungeons. Smelly, but unobserved. Was there someone in particular you had questions about? He's our ticket from the dungeon to the courtyard. Taznasi knows that Kazda doesn't keep his dungeons guarded. He had some special dwarven locks put in. They'd keep most people out, but Vol can crack them. Once we clear the dungeons, we're in the courtyard. We need to cross it without being seen. Risky with the size of our crew, but Serene, with enough preparation, can teleport us across the grounds with no one the wiser. Now is the time to ask. Taznasi counts on you to be a guard, a lookout, and whatever else is needed as we work. She has done enough jobs to know that things will come up that can't be anticipated, so it is good to have an extra pair of paws, just in case.
Good to be working. You're less of a taskmaster than you, Bunny. Now, let's find some more locks.
Good luck.
There's the lock. Watch my back, won't you? One down. Let's get going. Might need an ebony pick for this one. You know the drill. A bit stiff, that one. Glad I'll keep machine grease in my hair. Kazda's done some redecorating, I see. Not sure I like it. Keep the coast clear, won't you? There. Hopefully that's the last of them. My fingers are getting sore.
You can make it! Keep moving! You know, I like to think I'm agreeable.
Hey, that's our way to the courtyard.
They're through. No lagging behind.
Keep up, old-timer.
Serene, it's your turn.
Everyone stand still. You're making me crazy. Just need to concentrate. Focus the power. Imagine the destination. Alright, here we go.
What the...
So far, so good. Now, Vol.
You're sure?
To quote the barkeep, you look sick.
That's not good.
This one prefers his feet.
Thought I lost you. Moons, you're not hurt, are you? All your limbs in place? And Nazdar's looking pretty good, actually. Now the not good. You and Nazdar didn't quite make it to where I intended, and it will be a while before I can cast something like that again. You'll have to make your own way here. There is a basic rule of spellcraft. Do not attempt while drunk, or while recently drunk. Never been great with rules. I ended up losing control of the spell while attempting to teleport you and Nazdar. Sorry about that. Taznasi wants you and Nazdar to make your way to the base of the South Tower. That's where we're waiting. She also was very insistent. Avoid killing any of the guards. Northwest? East? Ish? You'll have to come through the courtyard, which means avoiding patrols. Don't get caught. Taznasi is going to be pretty upset if you kill anyone.
Walk softly, Master Hendo taught me. If we get into trouble, be warned. I cannot help. My fists are weapons no longer. Soft as a whisper, quick as a shout. The first finger of the Whispering Claw teaches. As the second finger of the Whispering Claw says, shadows consume curiosity, time, and interest.
You made it, both of you. Taznazi is glad.
Sorry about that. When this is all done, I'll buy you a drink.
Moon's mercy, Serene. When we're done here, I will smash every bottle of wine in Elsewhere.
Not if I drink them first.
Nazdar, you're our way into this tower. Ready?
The ascent of the body is nothing compared to that of the soul. Saint Yosito spoke wisely.
Your knees shouldn't make that noise, right?
They should make no noise, Vol. No rest, wrote the ascetic Vulado, is sweeter than one following great exertion. Nazdar thinks perhaps he did not stretch properly before his climb. He is no longer the spry 80-year-old he once was. Nazdar's knees tried to tell him he was no longer able to prance like a kitten, but he did not heed them. They are angry with him now. They are only sprains. Aches. Can and should, wrote Rid Tharidata, and knowing the difference between them is the cornerstone of wisdom. With Vol's ministrations, Nazdar will be back to his former self in an hour, perhaps more. Do not worry for him.
Nazdar did well to get us inside, but it looks like this strain was more than he could handle. He needs rest. Which means Taznazi needs to change her plans. Vol is the closest thing we have to a healer. He might be able to get Nazdar moving again, but he needs time, which means he won't be able to pick the locks on Kazda's vaults. Taznazi wants you and Serene to get the vault keys. This one has other business in the palace. Take care getting the keys. The thugs in this palace are Kazda's most loyal, and just as vicious and cruel as he. Expect no mercy, and give none. Serene will help keep things quiet in case fighting breaks out.
you switch! You betcha! In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
You are. He's got her! He's got her!
Keep it down. What are you talking about?
Kazda, he and his bodyguard, biggest I've ever seen. They cornered Taznasi and took her back there. You have to save her!
Set likes a quick study. if you can!
You have one friend left in this world, it seems. Not for much longer. Cut!
He's getting away! On time! After him!
Please, Taznasi, spare me!
Shut up, Kazda. One more word from your lying tongue and Taznazi will claw it out. He did it. Everything Taznazi suspected him of. He killed the Salzo. He had her take the blame. He was proud of it. Now that I have my claws at his throat, he discovers the meaning of mercy. He took this one's home from her, the only one she has known, and he couldn't give it back if he wanted to. She has no proof but his word. Even if he confessed and cleared her name, the stitches she would return to is not the one she left behind. One joy is left to Taznazi, to kill Kazda. Then she leaves this all behind her, for good. The Salzo is dead. Everyone Taznazi has ever known turned their back on her. The stitches are in shambles. Why would this one ever want to return to such a place? You are right. Taznazi has tried to forget, tried to move on. Not a night goes by that she doesn't dream of times past. She knows what must be done. Taznazi will make this one face the justice of the stitches. Wait for her at the tavern in town. Taznazi will only make this offer once. Confess to the stitches for all you have done, and she will not try out your torture devices for herself.
Taznazi, you win!
Get up. All the stitches will hear the truth from your lips before the day is done.
Vol managed to swipe a bottle of oleander reserve from the Avernos. It was delicious. There's something else to drink around here, I'm sure.
Well played, Master Thief.
My friend. No, more than that. Family. Kazda's deeds have been made known to the Stitches. Taznazi's name is cleared. For now, at least, there is something to drink to. Or, in Serene's case, something else to drink to. Now Taznazi is home, and you enjoy her hospitality. Raise a mug, kick up your feet, and count your coin. There is much to be done to fix the damage Kazda did, but that is for Taznazi to worry about. Your work is done, even if hers is just beginning. Strange as it seems, Taznazi is not only forgiven in the Stitches, she is looked up to. It will take time for the Stitches to be as it was. Maybe it will never get there, but even if she cannot live up to Dashing the Salzo's legacy, Taznazi will try. So much as anyone can be in charge of the Stitches. With Kazda in exile, there's hope of going back to how it was, how Dashing the Salzo saw it. They have not entirely forgotten him, or Taznazi. She'll do her part. We all will. The job is done. Their lives are their own. But Taznazi wants to make life better in the Stitches, and she will need help to do so. She could use them, Vol's tinkering, Serene's magic, Nazdar's wisdom, if they will offer it. So much as anyone can be in charge of the Stitches.
How many of those Avernus brothers are there? It's like a couple more every time I look over. I swear they are multiplying. How many of those Avernus brothers are there?
Do not mistake a righted wrong for an undone wrong, I believe is the mantra of Gautfang Master Junri. Nazdar is glad to know Taznazi's name is restored, but perhaps gladder to know she faced this tragedy.
I don't have time for fools.
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiiti warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection. To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us go inside. With me! Stay close! We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The path splits here. We will go right. Walker, you stay left. Moons guide us.
Touch of lingering death!
Maybe I should have joined the buoyant armigers. Hope we find something interesting. What would you like to talk about? I love maps and old books. Oh, I can lose myself in a library or booksellers for days on end. I'm also a bit of an enophile. Problem, Sarah? probably shouldn't be proud of that. I really don't like your odds.
For elsewhere! For the main!
I'm still here. Thanks for asking.
Our enemy awaits, Five Claw! Destroy the necromancer!
No more excuses. No more delays. Double around. The enemy's body marches ahead of Euraxia's forces.
We did it!
Nah, I wasn't worried. Were you worried?
Far enough, little insects. You dare challenge Mulamnir?
Dragonfire, move!
Little morsel. Mulamnir would talk to you. Look upon. Look upon Mulamnir in despair, morsel. You have no chance against me, no chance at all. But Mulamnir can be merciful. Come, let us talk. Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Euraxia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious. You and Abnathon are insignificant, but even an infinitesimal flea can irritate after it crawls beneath the scales. I offer you one last chance to survive. If you and the battle mage leave elsewhere, my brothers and I will not hunt you down. Then you will die. But not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to elsewhere. Leave elsewhere, little morsel. Tell the battle mage, if I see you again, you will die.
Five Claw, are you all right? I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp. I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for. We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now. Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there. Do not fear for me, Walker. I have been Gareshri's agent for most of my life. I will see you in Riverhold after I take care of my fallen soldiers.
Change of plans? What would you like to talk about? I can't stand goblins, or snakes, or boats. They all make me want to retch, for different reasons. The less we deal with any of them, the better.
If we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really use your help. Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was gone. The betrayer's head, the dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen. Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town hall.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any of them. Tell me, what of Chimera and the source of the undead? You paint a troubling picture, my friend. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report? My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving elsewhere, I think not. Obviously this Mulamnir fears us. Otherwise the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to you. Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her. A parley? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think like a Tharn, my friend. Here, take this. Gareshri gave it to me, but I refuse to accept payment for my services. A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. I imagine my half-sister will treat us as befits my station and agree to the meeting. Attend to any other matters if you must, then see me when you're ready to leave. It just so... Consider it obfus... Go on, go on.
This one hates the idea of talking to the usurper queen. We should be stabbing her in the neck. Still, Nalado sees the necessity, even if she doesn't like it. Euraxia will almost certainly betray you, so be careful when you face her, yes? By marching into elsewhere with a mercenary army and slaughtering our rightful Khajiiti rulers. Not only did the usurper slay our king and queen, she murdered the rest of the royal family. Her crimes, they swarm around her like flesh flies on dung.
E parli, Shimbot.
Off we go!
Very well. Have you ever visited a Rimmon workhouse? They treat the Khajiiti workers worse than
I
slaves.
recently traveled past Two Moons Temple. I hate to say it, but I think the monks there have gone mad.
What makes you say that?
These butterflies, but I couldn't see any.
It's that building over there.
They were chasing nothing. It was bizarre and, well, unsettling to
Now,
see them behave.
let's visit the Rimmon marketplace. Take a look around. Business seems to be... Come along. I want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace wall. When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Now, I don't like the looks of these meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and...
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen. I am Queen. Ah, yes. The betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the dark night that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, my actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear.
Now about the rest of my body, O pestilent one.
Your insults won't hasten the process, betrayer.
But there's a terrible draft in what used to be my nether regions.
Presenting Abner Tharn, Grand Chancellor and Overlord of Nibene, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen is...
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my half-brother's associate was somewhat taller. Oh well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with members of the losing side? A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiit army and took control of the Rimmon throne? I am no one's puppet, I assure you. But why do you suppose I have anything to do with dragons? My sort. Sweet talk? From an associate of my half-brother? I'm flattered. Shall we retire to the dungeons? We'll engage in the most interesting activities, you and I. You'll positively beg for mercy right up until the end, and then I'll give you to Foom. Do not attempt to sway me with your silver tongue. Mulamnir and I have a special relationship, an understanding. The dragons will secure my hold over elsewhere, and there's nothing you or my pathetic half-brother can do to stop them. Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not. Well, I suppose that could have gone better. I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards. So we wound up down here, in the palace sewer. We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adeptorium for some insidious purpose. And second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold. One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then...
Until I met you.
The way out, finally. I can't abide another moment in this stench. Well, that's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for Euraxia's lackeys to follow us. Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Adeptorium, and we know she's about to launch a counterstrike against Riverhold. That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted... Well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garishri. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the Desert Wind Adeptorium. Adeptoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts follow the order of Jean Kaj. It's west of here, on the northern lip of the scar. Look for a side entrance if the main door is blocked.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
I still can't believe poor Milksop's hide almost wound up on some poacher's wall. We owe you, friend. You'll always have friends here on the ranch.
Numaya wishes she could take a break, but stalls need raking, troughs need filling. Ah, our rancher's work is never finished. From the poachers? Not long. From the dragon attack, though? Who can say? Years? Your attacks on the poachers will allow honest, conscientious hunters to return to the prowl. With their help, we might be able to find a way to restore what we lost. Of course, Walker. There's nothing more wretched than a hunter with no beast to hunt. They will conserve what we have and protect what remains until the calves have calves. Only great fools would do otherwise, yes?
Something you need to discuss? What would you like to talk about? My dad's an antiquarian. He gave me an appreciation of cultural artifacts. Mom showed me how to find them. I prefer to treat such things with the respect they deserve. Change of plans? What would you like to talk? I love maps and old books. I can lose myself in a library or booksellers for days on end. I'm also a bit of an enophile. It means I like wine. A lot. Problem, Sarah. What would you like to talk? I don't regret throwing my lot in with you, if that's what you're asking. There aren't many adventurers I'm willing to partner up with again and again, but you keep proving yourself useful. And pretty nice. Hope we find something in.